ladies, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the caption of the video, today we're going to be doing some marble nail art, if that's what you want to call it. I did this set on my sister and it was kind of like a freestyle, and I didn't really know what to call that design, so I had this client that I'm doing in the video come back and say that she wanted something similar but with different colors. So that's what we went for today for this look. Before we get into this tutorial, please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. I just hit 100 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much, and when I do reach my next subscriber goal, I will be doing a giveaway, so I will post more about that in a separate video. But thanks to everyone who comes back and watches each and every one of my videos. It truly does mean a lot. I appreciate it more than you guys know. And of course, feel free to follow me on all my social medias. My Instagram is manicured, and my TikTok is the same. You can get the actual, like, the full name in my description. I'll leave that down below. But yeah, and also, ladies, like I've always told you guys, if there's anything that you want to see me do or try or talk about, or like, it doesn't have to be a nail tutorial. Anything you guys want to see, if you just want a nail room tour or a video of the products I use most frequently or things about Amazon, like literally anything that you ladies want to see, please feel free to comment, and I will definitely put that video out for you guys. My whole goal with this channel is just to help as many young ladies as I can, all the aspiring nail techs, like just anything, any help that I can be, that's what I want to be, because I know how it is starting off and not having anybody, really there to give you advice or try to lead you in the right direction. So that's what this, channel is for. So anything I can help you with, make sure to comment. I do reply back to comments. You can DM me on my social medias, whatever the case may be, I am here to help. So we'll go ahead and get into the tutorial. Like I said, it's mostly just for the nail art. I'm going through the same basic steps that I do in every video. So if you want like a more detailed video of the steps that you've seen, I would go check out my full set acrylic nails for beginners video. It's very informational and I do explain everything step by step, but I will give you like a quick rerun of everything in this video. So I started by pushing back the cuticles. So basically all my prep is what I did. Push back my cuticles. I used my cone drill bit around the cuticles to push those back and just expose the full nail bed. I did go through and clip the cuticles. I'm not sure if that was in the video or not. I know that's sad that I cannot remember, but sometimes I film that part, sometimes I don't. But I do always clip the cuticles, just so you guys know that for future reference if you don't see that in the video. So then I went ahead and got my sanding band and I just gently, slightly ran across the natural nail with that, and that gets rid of all the natural oils, which will help the retention and help these nails last longer, and it also helps prevent lifting. So every step in the prep phase helps with lifting, so every step is really important. Make sure to try your best to remember each and every step, and you will have lasting nails for sure. So after you do the cuticle work and get rid of like all those natural oils, you can go ahead and apply those nail tips. I went ahead and applied those and I cut them down. She was doing like a medium-ish square. So now I'm just going through and I'm filing. I always say in my videos, when filing, especially with square, you just start on the sides at a 90-degree angle and make sure to get underneath the nail as well, because you want a nice, clean, crisp shape, and you don't want any like ragged or rigid edges, I guess I should say, which can sometimes happen, especially if you're using a really sharper grit file. So definitely make sure that you're getting the sides and underneath the sides, and then also on the free edge of the nail, which is the tip of the nail, I guess some folks call it. The tip of the nail, you would just file it straight down. The best way to explain it is to put the back of the file flat up against the tip of the nail and just file up and down, straight up and down. And as you've seen, I did rotate the hand. I flipped the hand multiple different ways to just look at it from different angles to make sure that everything was exactly how I wanted it to be. Sometimes when you stare at something for too long, it kind of starts to look the same. So I like to look at it from different angles to just make sure, like I said, I like it from every angle. So now I'm just going over the nails with that same sanding bit. So you don't have to apply too much pressure, and always, like I say in all my videos, when you are using your e-file, whether it be a sanding bit or a drill bit, whatever the case is, you never want to leave it sitting in one spot for too long, because that will cause friction, and friction will cause heat, and heat hurts. So definitely just be more on the gentle side with that, especially in this step, because here we're just blending the tips. So that is just to help prevent lifting and, like I said, increase the retention rate. So you just want to carefully blend those tips in. But, anytime you're using this, you want to always make sure you keep it moving. Don't leave it in one spot too long. So now I'm just going in with my Mia Secret dehydrator and my Young Nails protein bond. So these just both act as, well, the Mia Secret, actually, I'm just going to go a little bit into detail here. The Mia Secret is more so to just go back through for, one final time and get rid of all those natural oils, completely dehydrate the nail. It's literally what it's called. And then the Young Nails Protein Bond, aka Primer, is just to help the acrylic, to help the acrylic adhere. And again, like I said, that helps with retention and preventing lifting. Every step from the beginning of the video is super important. I know I keep saying that, but I think one thing that nobody really taught me was, in the beginning, was like proper nail prep. And so I kind of had to, with time, I learned that on my own. And it has really, I can literally count on one hand how many times I've had someone say that their nail broke or lifted because of me. So definitely want to make sure that you're doing all those steps, ladies. They do matter. So now I'm just going in with my Young Nails. I believe this is called Cover Rosebud. This is literally my favorite base to use. I'm not a big fan of clear. I don't know why. I just feel like for some reason certain designs or like certain polishes or colors, whatever, just don't show up the same as they do. Like they don't show up the same on clear as they would like a nude or something like that. So I have always been a big user of the nude acrylics. I used to use one from Sugar and Cream called Sand, but the Young Nails I'm just able to get way quicker. And the Sugar and Cream kind of took a little bit longer. So I'm definitely still a big fan of those. I love all of their acrylics, but like I said, unless if I don't really need it right then and there, I will order that. But usually I use it, I run through it. So the Young Nails I can get within a day or two. So that's normally why I just go with that one. But I do love this. It has really good coverage. It's literally like butter. I love it so much. As you can see on most of these nails, I am only having to use about 3 or 4 beads, give or take. Now, as I mentioned in all, I don't want to say as I mentioned, but as I mentioned in all of my videos, just because I recommend, doing the 3 or 4 bead method does not mean that that's the only way to do it. Some people I know do it in 1 bead. Some people use 5. Some people use 2. It's literally about all, what you're comfortable with and what works for you, what set you're doing your client, there's a whole bunch of different factors. Of course, a 3 or 4 bead method is kind of like a baseline. You can start there, and you never know. You just might be super, super good with using, less beads, and you might just need a little bit more, which there's nothing wrong with either way. Whatever works for your nails and leaves your client with a good lasting set is the best. So I always just start from the bottom and I work my way up, and I slightly just feather the acrylic down. You do not need to pull or brush or drag. Don't apply too much pressure on the acrylic when you're trying to bring it down, because you're just going to wipe most of that off, and then you'll find yourself wasting so much time and so much product. So you just want to simply, once you pick your bead up, give your acrylic a little time to set. This Young Nails is really good at that. You don't really have to, I know there's a lot of acrylics out there where you have to hold the bead or dry the bead on the napkin, or whatever the case may be, because it's just super runny. This is awesome. You do not have to even worry about that with this acrylic. So yeah, you can just, when I say let it set, as you'll see on some of the nails, I'm just literally holding it right there for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, which I don't even really need to do that with this, honestly. But I just work my way from bottom to, I guess I should say, I'll use proper terms here. I'm going to work my way from free edge to cuticles, so the bottom of the nail to the top, depending on how you refer to it. So I usually, like I said, I usually only have to use about 3 or 4 beads, and I just slightly feather them down, and it does build up a perfect apex. It does build up a nice foundation. And as you guys see, I am making sure that as I'm moving up, I do continue to wipe the sides and the edge, because the more careful or more precise your acrylic is laid now, the less work you'll have to do in the end. I stress that in every video. When I first started out, I would say that it would take me about 30 minutes each hand with the acrylic, and then maybe about 25 minutes or so, to file with my file, and then go back over them with my e-file. But I can honestly say that since I have, learned all these different techniques and started to do things a little differently, I definitely have been able to apply the acrylic on each hand in about like 10 or 12 minutes. And then when I go to file and use my e-file, I probably can do that in about 10 minutes as well, both of those steps. Now, I'm not saying that to, make you feel like if you're taking longer than that you're moving slow. And I'm not saying that to say that if you only take that long that you're doing it right. I just, wanted to kind of put it in perspective for you that being more careful and being more, I guess, clean and precise during your application process really does make a difference, and it will help you in the end. So I always try to recommend that, and do what works for you. I will say that probably 1,000,001 times on my YouTube journey. Do what works for you. I just make these videos, like I said, to help and to share my knowledge and everything that I have on nails, in hopes to help someone else, because you might know everything, but there's might just be 1 or 2 things that you need to learn, and I might be the person that you're looking for to teach you that. So hopefully I can be that person. But another thing I forgot to mention, ladies, is when applying the acrylic, especially around the cuticle area, I do recommend you taking your brush and just cleaning up the cuticle area, because if you do have any acrylic that kind of like leaks over or runs over, or if for some reason you happen to accidentally apply the acrylic too close to the cuticle, or on top of the cuticle, or over the cuticle, whatever the case may be, you will get lifting, like really, really bad lifting. It's almost inevitable when with lifting, if you apply it too far up on the cuticle, just because of the simple fact, when that nail grows out, that acrylic is not just on the nail. So quick little session here on that. I will explain that to you what I mean by that. So when you apply the acrylic, of course your last bead is going to be by your cuticle. So when you're applying your acrylic, if it's how it should be, then as the nail grows out, the acrylic will kind of grow with it. Well, not grow with it, but you know what I mean. As your nail grows out, the acrylic is on the nail, so it's going to follow the nail. Now, if you have applied your acrylic, too close to the cuticle, or over the cuticle, or on the cuticle, anywhere else but on the nail, as that nail grows out, that acrylic is going to be, moving with the nail. But since it was over top, say it's on the cuticle, as that grows out, that part that was on the cuticle is going to still be a little bit lifted. So in result, you're going to have lifting. So that was just a quick little mini session on acrylic beads near the cuticle. I think explaining that now kind of makes me want to do a more detailed video on that. So I think I might. But so definitely just make sure that you're wiping around the cuticles and the edges, and of course, as you see, I'm just constantly going back through and cleaning up the sides and the free edge to keep that nice crispy clean shape. And another thing, you may have seen me go back and add a few small beads on nails that were already finished. And like I said, sometimes you know, for some nails 3 to 4 beads might be enough, it might be too much, whatever the case may be. But sometimes you might need to go back and add a little bit more in certain spots, and that's perfectly fine. So I like to once I apply my acrylic, you know, I look at it from different angles, and even as I move on to other nails, I still go back and I look at the nails from different angles just to make sure that I didn't really miss a spot, or you know, see if I feel like I need to add a little bit here or a little bit there. And that's what I did. So like if you see me like go back to nail and you're like, why is she adding more acrylic? That's why. So I'm just finishing up the acrylic here, and then we're going to move on to the filing and the shaping. So I don't think I really will have much to say on that part, because like I said, this video is mostly for the nail art part of it. But I will, you know, kind of hop back in and explain some of that. The filing, you do the same thing as you do when prepping the nails. So what I mean by that is you will just continue to file the sides at a 90-degree angle, and of course the free edge at a 90-degree angle. And then also it is really, really important in this step to get the underneath the sides of the nails, because now that there's acrylic on here, there definitely will be, you know, the sides might not be as straight or as clean as they were prior to applying the acrylic. So it's nice to just go back in there and clean them up again and make sure that there's no like excess acrylic or debris or dust, or you know, no rigid nail tip, anything of that sort. So that will definitely help with keeping that nice shape. And another thing is that I actually have never really mentioned this, but I thought I should, because I noticed that this set that I did use a brand new file. So it doesn't really matter what brand of a file you use. It's more so all about the grit. In my case, I use an 80/80 grit. I just feel like it gets the best shape. And I do want to add in though that when you bring out a new file, make sure to kind of like, the best way I guess say this is to explain what I mean. So like when I use a brand new file, I do kind of scrape it up against another file, or like my nail desk or something of that sort, to kind of dull it down just a little bit, because them 80/80 grits, I mean any file really, but them 80/80 grits, they be sharp, ladies. You know, they definitely can cut a girl. So I like to just throw that out there, because a lot of people don't really think about that. So yeah. So now I'm just going in with my sanding band again to seal those cuticles. Sealing the cuticle is what will definitely help prevent lifting. Just, you know, getting that acrylic down to where it needs to be. And then of course going back over to make sure there's no lumps or bumps, no dents, everything's nice, smooth, and even. And that's pretty much it for this step. We are going to go back in with my buffer. I said we are going to go back in with my buffer. You're going to go in with your buffer, and I'm going to go in with my buffer. But in the end, we're all going to be going in with buffers. And that will just, that's really, really important, especially when you're doing like anything, honestly, because nobody's really going to just get their nails, you know, filed down and then get up. Everybody is at least going to get a clear coat. So those buffers come in, they're really important, because those get rid of any like scratches or any, you know, excess debris, anything that will be left on the nail after using this e-file. That gets rid of that and just gives it a nice, clean, smooth slate for, you know, any polish or clear coat or design, whatever the case may be. So that's really important. The ones that you'll see me use, I did mention in my video, all beginner nail techniques. I think that's the title of it. But definitely check that out, especially if you're a beginner, because I put all my essential nail needs in there that I think as long as you have those, you'll be great. At least that's what I recommend. But I got these off of Amazon. I think I got a pack of like 70 for about 10 or 15 bucks. Actually, no, I think I'm way off. I think it was way more for way less, but just definitely check that out. They're great. So now we're going to go ahead and start this nail art. So I have jelly polishes. There is the pack that I'm using is from McCart. So there's like blue, pink, green, orange, yellow, purple, like all the basic colors. But I'm using, in this case, I think it's blue, pink. Well, actually, you're going to see me go in with this hot pink, and that was just not really the vibe. We wanted more like a light pink. So we didn't end up using that. I did go back in with a different color. It's from Sugar and Cream. I forget the name. I think it's just called Sheer Pink, honestly. But so we did the blue, as you can see, and the sheer pink, and then we're also going to do an orange, a purple, and a like lime green, neon yellowish color. So this design is really simple, honestly, but this step is obviously pretty simple. You're just going to go in with the polishes, and I always recommend that after you have applied your polish to go in and wipe the sides and the tip, just to get any excess polish off. This just helps keeping that nice crispy shape. So you're going to let that cure for about 60 seconds, and then as you see, I just have like a little white polish on the top of an acrylic lid. So I'm going to use like my very, very thin nail art brush to do the next step. So like I said, this step is pretty easy. And well, the whole design is pretty easy, and the best thing about it is there's really no way to mess it up, because there's no set way that it should come out. No set will look the same, in this design, let alone not even a single nail. No two single nails will look the same. So what I'm doing is, I know it looks like I'm doing, creating a certain design on the nail. I thought I was, but in all reality, I'm not. So I'm just dipping that in the white polish, and I'm just making random lines. That's really just what they are, random lines. I know it looks like I'm making them all the same. I promise. I don't know why I kept doing that. I guess I have no idea, honestly. But yeah, you're just gonna get a nice little, not too much. Obviously, you see I'm not covering the whole entire nail with white, but I'm putting enough on there to do the design. And then I'm literally just dipping another one of my little like flatter nail art brushes into some acetone, and if you put too much, just kind of dab it on a napkin, but you don't want it to be super dry, because then you're just going to wipe the polish off. You don't want it to be too wet either, because then it's going to completely just, when you dab it onto the polish, remove it. So you just want it to be kind of in between, and I'm just simply, I can barely talk. I don't know what's going on with my tongue today. You're just going to dab it on top, like over top the white, and it will start to create that marbled, cloudy looking effect. So that's pretty much it. So I'm just putting those wannabe fancy lines on all the nails, and I'm just going back in with the acetone, dabbing it over, and it'll create that nice, beautiful marble effect. And of course, you will go back in and let these dry, cure, I should say, for another 60 seconds. And I guess it's really up to you and your client if you want to proceed and just go ahead and put the top coat on, or if you want to do another layer. With this set in particular, I went ahead and went in with another layer of the jelly polish, because it kind of let that first layer of like the white design go, kind of made it look a little bit layered, and made it look more marbly, more like it had more depth, I guess you should say. And of course, at the end of the video, you guys will see what the nails turn, how they came out looking. I always, if I don't do anything else, I always let you guys see their finished results. So you'll see what I mean. So yeah, just after I did this step, I did go back in with like another layer of the jelly polishes, and I let that cure. And then you'll see me go back in with just a few more random spots of white. Did the acetone, let that cure, and then I went ahead and put that top coat on, the gel top coat, and let that cure. So another thing I wanted to mention is every polish that I'm using is gel. I only ever used gel. I just feel like it is way more convenient because it lasts longer. It's, in my opinion, nicer, dries way quicker. So if you're wondering, yes, it's all gel. Yeah, so as you can see, like for this thumbnail, it didn't turn out the same as any other nails, but they have the same vibe, but they all look different. So that's the best thing I think about this design, is that there's no perfect way to do it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Um, so yeah, this is just exactly what I explained. Like I said, just went back in with another layer of those colors, let that cure, and then I'm just going to go back through and add some more little white, random lines, hit it with the acetone a few more times, and then I let that cure for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to put on the top coat and let that cure for 60 seconds. And sometimes I like to go back in and let it cure for an additional 30 seconds. I guess it's kind of optional. I'm kind of stuck in that habit. Um, so yeah, 60 seconds at least, but you can do more, of course. It's never hurt to, dry the nails a little bit more. And yeah, so like I mentioned in the beginning of my video, if there's any videos that you ladies want to see me do, I am more than happy to do those for you, and do not hesitate to ask. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's anything that you guys think that I could do better on any future videos, please let me know. If there's anything that you guys like that I do on my current videos, please let me know. I need all the feedback. And again, be looking out for my video for my giveaway. I'm not really sure what goal I want to set for myself as far as like subscriber wise, but once I figure that out, I will mention that in my giveaway video. So yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to follow me on my social medias, which will be linked below, and send me a message, comment, let me know what you guys want to know. I would appreciate it greatly. And this is the finished result. So as you can see, like, you definitely have that top layer of that white, but definitely has some depth. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye.